Welcome aboard, everyone, to another live show. As I promised during the walk show today, the walk show is just a walk around, try to burn that flab off, because now we're going to get down to business. So this is IrixGuy's live show, episode 142. Appreciate all your support, your super chats. Obviously, when you're shopping for cameras, shopping for drones, timepieces, whatever it may be, and you choose to visit IrixGuy.com, it's greatly appreciated. So we're going to dive right in. There's a lot of cool stuff. I tell you, I've really enjoyed these suckers right here. These have been a blast. I've got two that are unallocated currently. I got to set them up somewhere. I put one in my golf bag, and I put another one in my camera backpack, and I've got another one I'm going to put on a keychain. These air tags are super cool. They enable you to track, it's up to your imagination. What do you want to track? What would you try to not lose? And you can attach an Apple AirTag to it, and it may better prevent you from losing a precious item, whatever that item may be. So super duper cool tech. I mean, Apple keeps knocking it out of the park, with the latest and greatest gadgets. I mean, they're no longer just a computer company. They're no longer just a phone manufacturer and a tablet manufacturer. I mean, Apple's really, knocking it out of the park with the AirTags and all of that. I'm really shocked. And not only am I shocked, but I'm disappointed that Apple has not released a drone yet. It would seem that the Apple drone, should exist, but, it doesn't. So, hiccups. But, and by the way, the merch that I posted at the top of my chat for this live show, it's available now. Well, it's been available, but I've got new shirts, I've got coffee mugs, I've got stickers, and I've even got, if you still wear a mask, I've got the IrixGuy's Adventure Channel COVID or whatever kind of mask. I don't know what you'd use it for. I don't think they would protect against any sort of potentially airborne whatever, but they look cool. It says IrixGuy's Adventure Channel, so you can check those out. Again, it's linked at the top of the chat. And again, this being a live show, if you choose to do so, you can super chat. Super chat's just one of many great ways to support the channel. If you've been watching for a while, you're probably aware I'm an independent YouTube channel, not part of a multi-channel network. I don't have that marketing budget, and especially because of all the travel challenges right now. Regardless of what your stance may be, in regards to this virus or whatever, it's inevitable that travel is not a good thing. Because right now you got to deal with, if you're going to fly somewhere, you got to deal with all these forms and getting a stick shoved up your nose and all that stuff, and then you got not only that, just the congestion because of this. And then you've got, you go to a destination, there's probably, if places are open, they're probably not open at full capacity. So you're kind of going on a gimped travel experience. So it's like, do I really want to spend my money to travel right now? Or, would the money be better spent in other areas? And, again, that's why, with this channel, and again, small independent YouTube channel, that's why I've opted to go with improving the studio, the acoustics, the lighting, the camera equipment, the audio equipment, making the best presentation possible, but doing it on a budget. That's what IrixGuy's Adventure Channel is all about. ROI, return on investment. Don't throw funds into the air and, watch them blow away. Throw stuff at things that can potentially create return on investment, ROI. Super important acronym. If you're not familiar with the word ROI, you should be. And, ROI is applicable to most any type of business model. So, keep that in mind. I do have the Air 2S. As we've talked about, Air 2S is a, yes to the Air 2S. Fantastic drone, 1-inch sensor. But, what's fascinated me the most about the Air 2S, maybe I ought to put a What if I put an air tag on my Air 2S? If it's ever lost or stolen, I could track it. But, the thing I like most about the Air 2S is just that 1-inch sensor camera, but the autofocus not only works, but the autofocus on the Air 2S performs exceptionally well. Performs so well it hasn't let me down yet. And granted, the Air 2S has only been, I've only owned mine for a few weeks now, but it hasn't disappointed. And it'll be interesting after a few more weeks to see if my opinion in regards to the Air 2S is still that it's my favorite drone on the market today for professional video. And I throw in that for professional video comment because, if you want a drone that's very capable, that still does 4K video, the DJI Mini 2 is an exceptional drone. So with that being the case, if you want ultra portability, if you want something very small, very lightweight, something that potentially in some countries may not be as regulated as some of the larger drones. The Air 2S, ticks a lot of boxes rather, and the Air 2S is USB rechargeable. And for anybody like myself that's off the grid a lot of the time, being able to recharge with a solar USB battery bank is a huge sell. Not only the drone, but also the drone's controller. So, that's why I think DJI Mini 2, unless you're doing ultra super duper professional work, I think the DJI Mini 2 is a drone to get. If you need that better low light performance, Kyle C. Dude's All Right Party. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome aboard, sir. Cheers. Always good to have you, Kyle. Thanks for coming. Studio people, they didn't get I got this shine on my face. They didn't fix that. I got to fire some of my hair and makeup crew. Got to do that. The hair doesn't look that good either, man. It's pretty low budget, but again, the lighting and the audio should be on point, and that's what matters. So, let's go ahead and let's get this party. It says, all right, let's party. That's right, Kyle. Kyle knows what's up. These live shows, this is, being able to create your own live show. This is something in the past that was a pipe dream. Look back in the 80s and the 90s, you saw people on TV, or what we deemed TV at the time, which was a traditional, rabbit ears or a cable running into one's house to watch TV. Now YouTube, and not just now, but the past few years, YouTube has ushered in a huge opportunity. And thanks to faster internet, fiber optic internet, we're able to stream in high definition. I mean, this is in 1080p high definition. So, it's really fascinating that, that technology has come so far. And, I'm saying this because I'm an old dude, man. I got this gray hair, it's just, I don't know, you just get old, man. But I'll never get tired of, I'll never become old and tired of tech, because tech is so much fun, man. I mean, there's so much, again, this being IrixGuy's Adventure Channel, there's so many technology-centric topics to explore. And, this is, I love drones. I love drones because, with a drone, you can film or photograph a different perspective. And, that's not something, prior to drones, that was something that did not exist. I mean, even if you had the luxury of having a helicopter or having an airplane, if you ever tried to take a camera up in your helicopter and or your airplane, you probably found that filming those videos and trying to snap those still photos, they just didn't turn out that well, because there's something called jello, video jello. Anytime you got, like on a helicopter, you got the rotors on the top. It creates a lot of vibrations. Airplanes, you got, unless you got a jet, you got that propeller spinning, and there's a lot of vibration in that. So if you're trying to capture, from an airplane or from a helicopter, quality video, quality photos, because of those vibrations, it's often not doable. And that's what makes a drone so great. Number one, you don't have to incur the cost of a helicopter or an airplane. And even if you don't own your own helicopter or airplane, you don't have to incur the cost of, getting a pilot to go up, take you up, because, I mean, that's fuel. That's the money for, leasing time on that aircraft. So, drones have really created, drones are a tool that, I don't know, man. I don't know where this stuff is going. There's so many people that have abused the technology. And, I'm afraid because of that abuse, us as hobbyists, we may see, I hope we don't get to the point to where this hobby becomes so difficult to enjoy that, we can't enjoy it anymore. And that's, that's the fear right now. So again, as I've always mentioned, be a drone evangelist, preach safe and responsible drone use. Proactively go out and approach people if they're flying a drone, and just let them know, hey, I watched the Drone Evangelist. That's my website, droneevangelist.com. And the Drone Evangelist said to preach safe and responsible drone use. And that's why I'm coming over to talk to you. Preface it with that so they know that, you're not some creep walking up and trying to preach safety. And, just tell them that. And, oh, by the way, subscribe, youtube.com/IrixGuy. Or head on over to droneevangelist.com, and they'll get here. And they'll be able to see the safety-centric drone content. So, yeah, it is Friday night. It's about 8:24 p.m. New York City time. That's East Coast time in the United States of America. And New York City's on that East Coast, kind of towards the northeastern part of the United States. So that's where we are. I'm here in my studio. Again, trying to make this studio as professional as possible on a budget. With that being said, super chats are deeply appreciated. If you want a super chat, you can find that super chat box. It's down there in the comments, and you can choose to super chat, and that'll get I think that'll get a big cheer from the crowd. So yes, sir. So what is everybody, y'all had a lot of questions earlier, these walk shows, very talkative, a lot of questions. What do y'all want to talk about? What are your curiosities? Anything from drones to travel to tutorial. Maybe you need to know how to do certain things within Linux. Linux is a Unix operating system, and something that I've proactively started to pursue recently is sharing Linux tutorials. So if there's anything in particular that you're curious about in regards to Linux, let me know. And if you're so if you're not a computer person, what is Linux? So think of Linux as the poor man's Unix, because in the past you had very expensive computer hardware, and it ran Unix. You had a bunch of commercial Unix operating systems. But then this guy by the name of Linus Torvalds, and I think he was from Norway or Sweden. I think it was Norway, over there in those they call it Scandinavian countries. And he developed Linux. Even though his name is Linus, he said that it's pronounced Linux. So Linux, think of Linux as the poor man's Unix, multi-user operating system. And Linux has ushered in the opportunity for people to do a lot of really cool things on a budget. So, if you want to run a website, for example, Linux is a great tool for that, because it's an open source operating system, meaning that you can pretty much customize the heck out of it, and there's a lot of open source applications that can run on top of it. Check the license agreements for everything to make sure you're in the right. But there's so much you can do with Linux, and if you learn how to use Linux, you can save a lot of money. And for example, my websites, because I am an independent YouTube channel, very low budget. So my website, I set it up myself, man. I built a Linux, virtual Linux server. I set it up on Amazon Web Services, which is really cool, by the way. And you can get like a shared host. You don't have to be such a nerd. But so I spun up a what's called an EC2 instance, Amazon AWS EC2. It's basically, instead of in the past where you had physical hardware, and I've done that, it's called co-location. You co-locate a server. You build a server, you install Linux on it, you physically ship that server to a data center, and they connect it to the high-speed internet. But with AWS, Amazon Web Services, it's created a whole new playing field. So I've got IrixGuy.com runs out of Seattle. It's Amazon's data center in Seattle. So basically what I did, I spun up an Ubuntu Linux. Ubuntu, there's a lot of flavors of Linux. There's Debian, there's Ubuntu, Slackware, Red Hat, Fedora, the list goes on. But I like Ubuntu just because I like the package management that's built into it and the ease of maintaining the packages and also upgrading the entire operating system periodically. So I use Ubuntu Linux. I installed Ubuntu on my Amazon AWS EC2 instance. Probably went overkill with the hard disk because I don't host a lot of content from the website, but I spun up a 64 gig Ubuntu Linux server. And after I spun that up, I installed LAMP. LAMP, that's Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. So with the LAMP stack, I'm able to create my website. I use WordPress. And the beauty of Amazon Web Services, AWS, is being able to harden the security. And you don't have to be a fancy, like, oh, dude, I'm like a network engineer, man. I know networks inside and out. You don't have to be like ultra nerdy. You just got to know the basics. So basically what I did, I restricted the access to the command line, which is called you log in as root. You're the system administrator. You can do everything. I restricted that to only one IP address. So only my static IP can secure shell into my Linux server. The only other traffic that's allowed is port 443, which is SSL. So you notice when you browse to a website now, in the past there was port 80, which was unsecure web traffic. Now it's 443, which is SSL. It's secure web traffic. So the only traffic that's allowed from the internet, from the public to IrixGuy, is port 443, which is SSL. When you hit the website, you're hitting IrixGuy.com or EpicDroneShow.com or 400orbelow.com. All of that is being served up on port 443. So everything is, and again, I'm sure there's hacker groups that could hack the heck out of it, but as secure as I felt it should be, I've made it that secure, and I've done it with Amazon Web Services. And I host, again, I've got my virtual server for all my websites is located in Seattle in one of Amazon's fancy pants data centers. So that feels pretty cool to say that. And the thing is, that sounds expensive, but because I'm so, I got to be cheap, man. I'm an independent YouTube channel, don't have the marketing budget, this, that, and the other. So, on average, my hosting is anywhere from, and these are US dollars, anywhere from $18 US to maybe $26 US a month. So it's an affordable, and that's a lot of traffic. I mean, IrixGuy.com, EpicDroneShow.com, DroneEvangelist.com, 400orbelow.com, they get a ton of traffic. SeanCoonery.com. Miss Sean Coonery, he was cool. But yeah, all that's running off of Amazon Web Services. So, with that being said, and again, I'm an independent YouTube channel, and I'm also always looking for consulting gigs. So, if you require any sort of, Linux consulting, maybe you want to spin up a website. Maybe you've got a Linux server and you want to install software or whatever. Reach out to me because, Linux consulting is one of my many services. So if you need an affordable consultant to assist you with setting up whatever, let me know. So that's that's a plug for my own services, man. I mean, life's not cheap, man. You got to be a hustler. You got to market your skills because if you don't, you're not getting paid. With that being said, goes out saying if you need drone advice, reach out to me, man. I'll steer you in the right direction, and all that I ask is that if you decide to purchase a drone that you strongly consider purchasing it from EpicDroneShow.com and click buy a drone, or just go to IrixGuy.com. The link's there. I'll send you to buy a drone as well. in all my drone videos, I have a link within the video description where you can click and buy a drone. That helps my channel. That helps me. That helps me. You know, this studio that you have the luxury of attending this live, I'm hosting from this studio. IrixGuy's Adventure Channel studio would not exist if it wasn't for your viewership, your subscriptions, your super chats. And again, super chats, that's that little super chat icon down there by the chat. So, all of this is super important. Life's not free. You gotta hustle. You gotta market your skills. So, again, any sort of consulting you need for Linux, let me know. Or if you need social media consulting, let me know. Those are two heavy hitters, and I'll guarantee you, if you reach out to me for a quote and I provide a quote, it's going to be very reasonable. And if it's not, tell me who's less, and I'll see if I can match their price. That's that's the way you gotta do business, man. But these air tags, man, these things are so cool. And it's just, what's funny about this is that Apple, it's like, they've been talking about, people have speculated that air tags were going to release for many years, and they finally did. And I mean, really all it is a stainless steel looking material and a white case back, and it's got, it's got a user replaceable battery, which is nice. And it's just, I don't know, it just gives me peace of mind, knowing. And here's the thing, when you go to the country club, country clubs are usually, pretty snooty type places. You go, people there think they're better than everybody else, and this, that, and the other, and arrogant with their nose up in the air, and this, that, and the other. But when you go to a country club, the thing is, typically what you will do when you go to a country club, and a lot of them, they've got valets, you got to pull up, it's all fancy pants, they drive your car and park it, and I don't need that, man. I'm cheap. I'll, park down the way and walk. But regardless of how you approach a country club, you're probably going to drop your golf bag off at the bag drop. Here's the thing. Just because you're a member of a country club, and a lot of the people around you are probably, are members also, there's always those shady people who are going to drive through the parking lot and drive in front of that bag drop and steal golf clubs and bags. Because the sad reality is that golf clubs nowadays, for a good set, when you factor in the bag, the clubs, the irons, the drivers, the various accessories. I mean, you got tees, you got balls, this, that, and the other. Just a basic looking golf bag full of clubs at a bag drop could potentially be worth upwards of, say, $4,000 or $5,000. I mean, and one wouldn't think that, but a lot of the clubs are custom fitted. There's a lot of factors that come into play. So, thieves know that. So the fact that I have an air tag in my golf bag, gives me peace of mind, because it's not hanging on the side saying, hey, I'm tracking you. It's just down there with tees and balls. So, if somebody stole my bag, they probably wouldn't think, rather, they're crooks, they're probably not going to be that smart, but they probably wouldn't think to look inside the bag for, what's sitting in there. And even if they found this, granted, they may know it's an Apple AirTag, and they may not. It depends on how tech savvy the thief is. But, it just gives me peace of mind. And it's just, it's cool. Anything that you can better protect. And it's not just the tracking aspect of it, but it's just the peace of mind knowing that, when I go in to buy, actually, I don't buy beer. I don't buy beer on the golf course because I'm too cheap. I've got an insulated bag. And what I'll do is put some, blue ice, that stuff that you freeze and you put in a cooler or whatever. I put that in my golf bag. I take my own beer. You go to a country club, man, it's like astronomical. It's like a beer's like $4, $5, $6. I'm like, I don't want to do that. I want to get me a cheap, pack of natty ice or natty light. I don't need that fancy stuff. And then I just put it in one of those. Well, actually, I do put it in a fancy. Yeti, what do they call it, Rambo or whatever, the thing, it's a koozie that insulates it. And then that way, if people drive by and they want to, be like, dude, we don't sell Natty Light here, They won't see what I'm drinking. They just see the Yeti logo, like, dude, you're cool, So, just another tip. I don't know, man. I like playing golf, but I just, I don't care for the there's all those, the people, the country club, snooty people, this, that, and the other. I've never been a fan of them. But I'll go out on the golf course and tear everybody up on the course. But yeah, it's dude. I tell you, this live stream, I'm still using the ATEM Mini Pro, and this thing has been rock solid. And I know they've got a newer ATEM now. And the cool thing about it, and I flirted with the idea of upgrading to it, because what you can do with it, it doesn't just have one monitor output, it's got two. And like right now, I'm looking over there, I've got what's called multi-view, so I can see my various cameras, I can see my audio levels, I can see my program view, which is what's live right now, and then also the preview, if I flip between program and preview modes. But it's just Blackmagic Design has done and I don't want to just say a wonderful job. They've done an exceptional job with this ATEM. And I'm contemplating getting the new ATEM that released, because it has, again, it has those two monitor outputs. And if I did that, I've got a TV on the smart TV, 4K on the other side of my studio. I could have one output there, and then I could have my multi-view on this one, or vice versa. So it'd be really good. It's just a good way to see, how everything looks on there. I think the chroma key, you may see a little bit of green fringing around my hands, but that's what impressed me the most about this. This is actually the background. I filmed the background in Anguilla. This is Meads Bay. And I filmed that, and actually it's in 4K. So I'm streaming the 4K from my laptop using AirPlay to my Apple TV 4K, which is then functioning as the full motion video backdrop. And all the chroma keying has been done off the laptop. It's all being done in the ATEM Mini Pro. So, again, Blackmagic Design has created just an absolutely fantastic piece of hardware. And I've never looked back. It was one of those deals I was like, man, I love Wirecast. And Wirecast is a cool tool, software product. But I found that every year I was having to renew. I wasn't having to, but I wanted to because I liked the tool. I was having to resubscribe and renew my Wirecast, support subscription or whatever to get all the latest updates. And what would happen with Wirecast is that if you didn't update for a period of time, Mac OS is releasing new releases. And conveniently, when the newest release, not just the minor updates, but the big releases, they would typically always brick Wirecast. So in essence, it forced me into, renewing my support. So with the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro, or any of the ATEMs from Blackmagic for that matter, I can download the firmware updates, no problem. They're not trying to charge me for that. I bought the hardware. Yeah, the hardware is kind of expensive. And you can find my review videos and a link to buy it on my website, IrixGuy.com. But, once I bought it, I've enjoyed it. I mean, this thing it's been rock solid. I mean, like right now I'm looking at my own air status. It's the upstream of 4.50 megabits per second, and there's zero buffering. So this entire broadcast should be free of any sort of video or audio issues. And I mean, that's when you think about how much goes into creating a piece of hardware that can do this, but can do it reliably. I mean, Blackmagic Design has done a bang up job with creating this. And again, it's got built-in chroma key, green screen. So, and that's what I'm using right now. I mean, this does everything I need it to do. Now, my only complaint, and this is not Blackmagic, this is directed at Apple TV. So prior to Mac OS Big Sur, which is the Mac OS version that I use now on my Apple Silicon Macs, and this is my MacBook Air Apple Silicon M1, and then over there I've got the Mac Mini M1, and I've got the iMac M1 coming. I'm excited about that. But the thing that's irritated me is that since Apple updated to Big Sur, and because I bought these new Macs, I called Apple support. Apple support is phenomenal, by the way, but I think I kind of hit a pain point, and they didn't really give me what I wanted out of this. But prior to macOS Big Sur, since I've got two Apple TV 4Ks, what I could do from the same Mac, I could stream using AirPlay a video to one of the Apple TVs, and then I could open a second video from the same Mac and AirPlay it to the second Apple TV. So that enabled me to have my full motion video green screen backdrop, but also have a second Apple TV that within the ATEM Mini Pro I could flip to and use it as my intro and outro clip. Since Apple upgraded to macOS Big Sur, being able to stream more than one video to being able to stream two videos, so two different videos, two different Apple TVs, you can't do it anymore. So if I play two videos and then I stream to what I call my green screen Apple TV, if I open the second video and stream it to what I call my intro outro Apple TV, it'll stop the previous. So I can't have two streaming at the same time from the same Mac, which is disappointing. Now, I've got two Macs, so what I can do and what I'm going to do, and I didn't do for this show, is my Mac Mini, which will be my iMac soon. I'll have it constantly looping the intro clip. And then my MacBook Air M1 will be doing the green screen, which you see behind me. And when I get ready to conclude a live show, I will, from my Mac Mini M1, I'll have screen share established for my MacBook Air M1, I'll have screen share established with the Mac Mini M1, and I'll be able to switch from intro segment to outro segment. And then within the ATEM Mini Pro software, which is installed on my MacBook Air M1, I can then flip to the outro segment when the live show ends. So this live show, for example, when this does end in a little bit, you won't see an outro clip because I was too lazy to connect my Mac Mini or to start an AirPlay to my second Apple TV from my Mac Mini. You know, I'll admit laziness there. I mean, it's no problem. But I've just really, deeply, thoroughly enjoyed the ATEM Mini Pro, if you can't tell. And it was, I'll admit, it was a tough, it's expensive. I mean, this stuff's not cheap. But it was one of those deals that's like, okay, well, I'm constantly paying to renew a subscription to this live streaming software. What if I can buy a piece of hardware and get as good or better results? And actually, the green screen that I get from this hardware, with my abilities, trumps the green screen capabilities I was able to get out of Wirecast. So that's pretty good. And then Wirecast is a good product. I'm not speaking negatively about it because it is good. But yeah, it's just, ATEM Mini Pro is cool. And again, they don't just have the Pro now. They've got what's it called? The Extreme. I think it's the ATEM Mini Extreme. So, just something to be aware of if you're wanting to get into live streaming. I strongly recommend the ATEM live streaming products. And you can find them all linked on my website. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, with that being said, it's just, I got a lot of drone videos coming, man. I've got, I just got a coupon for a free bacon biscuit. Whoa. I wish that was a shareable coupon. Unfortunately, it's not, but that's pretty cool, man. Bacon biscuits. You can't beat a bacon biscuit. Well, you can get a sausage biscuit, but it's something about bacon, man. Speaking of that bacon, I remember one of the best memories. And this was back in college, man. I was in college with a bunch of college buddies. We went down to the beach, and it was we'd been up all night. Like all night partying, right? And then this hotel, it wasn't a hotel we were staying at. We were just staying at some just super cheap place. But the hotel next door had a breakfast buffet. So we walked in there, we're staying there, and they had this buffet, and it was just, a lot of these buffets, they have bacon and stuff, and it's just they try to put it back in the back, and they try to serve it to you because they know you're going to eat a lot. This particular place just had those little heated things, silver things that are about that wide and that long, and you open it up, and it was like that deep of bacon. So like we literally ate so much bacon, man. I mean, it was crazy, dude. It really was crazy. But yeah, you can't. I mean, you really can't beat bacon. I mean, bacon is really good. Now, and if you haven't tried it, something I recommend trying is turkey bacon. If you're trying to eat, a little bit less unhealthy type of bacon, turkey bacon's pretty good. You get the texture. You don't get, in my opinion, you don't get all the flavor from turkey bacon like you would with traditional bacon, but it's a good alternative. You can fry it up. You can put it in the microwave, whatever you want to do with it. Turkey bacon is not quite as greasy as traditional bacon, so that's an advantage that turkey bacon has. But I tell you, the best thing, man, is just going and getting some bologna. People are like, man, bologna, that's gross. Check out my video, how to fry bologna. Because if you've never fried bologna, it's probably because you think you're too good, you're too fancy. You just need to forget about that. You need to go to the store, pick up a pack of bologna, get some butter. If you don't want to get butter, get some margarine, and watch my video, how to fry bologna. And if you choose to do that, it could potentially be a life-changing moment. So fried bologna, if you like bacon, man, you do fried bologna, you get that texture. Take it to the next level, man. Smoke some bologna. Put some bologna in your smoker and smoke it. Enjoy it smoked. It's going to be kind of, the texture is not really firm when it's smoked, but it'll be good. If you want to kick it up even more, smoke your bologna and then fry your bologna. So you get the smokiness, the hickory smoke, and then you get the texture from frying your bologna in the skillet. So, just something to be aware of, man. Just trying to provide y'all with good advice here. Don't have to be fancy to enjoy stuff. I mean, things that aren't fancy, you can still, bologna is pretty bottom of the barrel, but if you fry it up and do it right, man, it can taste like a fine meal. So just remember that. Yeah, that being said, guys, we've got, this is, let's see, I'm looking at my ATEM Mini Pro. We've been going 40 minutes here. Got to get some dinner, man. I'm getting hungry. I have my beverage of choice after my walk, trying to become less fat. Actually, I'm about to get back in the gym. I think, this virus stuff's been going around. I think if it, I don't know. We shouldn't talk about the virus, but anyway, my point is that I want to get to the gym. D. Heller says OcuSync 3 versus OcuSync 2. Your thoughts? Well, my thoughts are this, and DJI, everything they release that's newer is better. I've enjoyed both of the OcuSyncs, but OcuSync 3 just because it's newer tech, man. And I tell you, once you go OcuSync, even though DJI's Wi-Fi worked quite well. I didn't have any complaints with it. But OcuSync is just such a more solid communication system. And there were times, admittedly, with the Wi-Fi drones, let's see, which, was it the original Mavic Air? Was that the one that used Wi-Fi? The one they had I think it had a red color, and I think they had a few other colors available for the drone. I think they called that enhanced Wi-Fi, which granted, it was good, but it was nowhere near the quality and reliability of an OcuSync connection. So, my opinion, whether it's OcuSync 2 or 3, both are exceptional. Obviously the latter, OcuSync 3, being newer, is newer tech. And in the case of, any sort of drone technology, newer is probably more robust. So, I would choose the latest tech over the previous. But again, both are great, and I would choose both of those over a drone that uses Wi-Fi to communicate. The OcuSync is just such a superior technology, in my opinion. And again, I am the drone evangelist. Check out droneevangelist.com. But I'm not preaching drone safety. I'm just preaching the truth. In my opinion, that's That's the that's how I feel about it. And again, if you don't know, man, buy a drone. Head on over to epicdroneshow.com, click buy a drone, take it out in the field, see how it performs. I think, if you flew a drone that uses Wi-Fi and then you flew a drone that uses OcuSync, whether it's 2 or 3, you're probably going to see a major reliability difference between the two. Not that Wi-Fi is bad. The enhanced Wi-Fi on the Mavic Air was good, but it wasn't as just rock solid as OcuSync. So, great question, D. Heller. D. Heller, always good to have you, man. D. Heller, you were on the walk show today, too. At a walk show talking about trains, man. When I was walking, I was talking about it. I said, yeah, man, I'm going to go back and get me some Crown. I got me some Crown, just as I had indicated. Enjoyed my workout and enjoying a live show from the official IrixGuy's Adventure Channel studio. Again, just a reminder, you can find linked or pinned in the top of the chat. I've got the IrixGuy's Adventure Channel merchandise. Now, I've got a lot of stuff now. I've got T-shirts. I've got coffee mugs, stickers, mask. I don't know if they do anything, but put it on your face and, wear a mask if you want to wear a mask. You can find all of that linked at the top of this chat area. And that's all of my merchandise is sold through, it used to be Teespring. Now it's just called Spring. So, really high quality stuff. I've got phone cases, iPhone cases, all the different phone models. If you want to have an IrixGuy's Adventure Channel phone case, you can find the links to purchase all of that at the top of the chat. Hybrid Life, you the man. And also D. Heller. You the man, D. Heller. I love the diversity of guest personalities that join IrixGuy's live shows. No doubt, man. And speaking of guests, Hybrid Life and I are going to be doing a live show. And Hybrid Life, are we still... that was gross. So Hybrid Life, are we still going to do a live show on Sunday, tomorrow? Oh, not tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. When are we going to do the live show? D. Heller. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, yeah, I think Hybrid Life and I are going to do Hybrid Life. If you don't know Hybrid Life, he is he's at the Mayo Clinic. Mayo or May? Mayo or May? It's not the stuff you put on a sandwich, but it's that medical place, So he's going to be a neurosurgeon. So he's a smart dude. So Hybrid Life and I, we do. Oh yes, sir. Yep. Hybrid Life Sunday will not work because that is Mother's Day. So, yep. So maybe, yep. Yeah, that is Mother's Day, so I can't do the live show Mother's Day. Mayo, like the sauce. Mayo Clinic. Let's do it. Let's pick a weekday. And let's try to do sometime, if it works for your schedule, shoot me an email. We'll see what works. Typically for me, about 7 p.m. New York City time, 7 p.m. Eastern would probably be good for about an hour, anywhere between, 7 and 8 Eastern would probably be great if that works for you. Yeah, or next Sunday. Next Sunday would be great because that's not, that's not Mother's Day. So, yeah, good catch on that, man, because that's, yeah, and I can't do tomorrow, man, because tomorrow is, Saturday is always playing golf. I'm a golfer, so I got to go out and swing the club and just have a good time. So that's Saturday. But yeah, man, just let me know and we'll do it. I think that'd be great. I think it'd be a great live show. Talk about whatever. Hybrid Life runs the Stocks and Watches channel on YouTube. So, talking about penny stock or stocks in general and wristwatches. Hybrid Life says, weekdays are extremely hard because I study late at night with other med students until usually 11 p.m. or so. Dude, you're efficient, man. If I was going to be a neurosurgeon, which I admire you for that ability. If I was gonna be doing that, man, I don't think I don't think I could finish it by 11 p.m. That's nuts. But dude, that's gonna be awesome. So, Hybrid Ice says, coincidentally, I played varsity golf, and I played golf in high school too. I was at the top of the B team. I was pretty crappy, but sometimes I was, if somebody was sick or somebody had a really bad week or whatever, I would fill in on the primary team. I was the bottom of the primary, top of the secondary. So it was fun though. I mean, golf is a great game. You just go out and the best part about golf, and the reason I got involved with it, anytime that people let me just cut to the chase how it is. There's so many deals, so many business deals made on the golf course, and the reason is that the golf course is an opportunity to get away from whatever activity it may be. So it's an excuse to go somewhere, and it's an excuse to be in a place where you're riding a cart with someone. What are you selling? What are they selling? It's a great way to communicate and have a good time, playing a game where you're competing. So, golf is it's not just an enjoyable game, but it's a professional networking tool. It's the golf cart, the golf course is a place where you can go and, strike huge deals for your customers, or you can meet new customers, or you can, somebody invites you out to play, so golf is an important skill because, when you progress through the various levels of business success, inevitably you're probably going to encounter people that play golf, and that's a great way to have fun and also talk business. Hybrid Life says golf is great, hard to get out and play when you live in a state that snows 7 months out of the year. Yeah, man, no doubt. Snow's cool though. Brings people together, I guess. That's one way to look at it. But let's see, we are see what I have to do. Oh, yeah. So pre-Mother's Day dinner. So I got to get my wife some get a good dinner. So I'm gonna get that. And yeah, like I said, Hybrid Life Sunday's out because that's Mother's Day. I'd be blacklisted forever if I did a live show on Mother's Day. That's not gonna work. But yeah, I appreciate everyone tuning in. This has been a fun show. Look forward to some really cool shows here in the very near future. And again, stay tuned. Hybrid Life and I next Sunday are going to we're going to do a live show. Hybrid Life says, have any Chef IrixGuy videos coming? Yes, I do. Actually, I've got in my refrigerator right now, I've got a pack of drumettes and wingettes. And what I've found with that, and I've got one video, but I'm going to do a new video. Actually, I'll do it tomorrow. How to make super crispy, super hot, just burn your face off hot wings. I've got this preparation. It's actually very simple. And, give yourself about a half hour. I'll show you in the video when I film it tomorrow. But, basically what I do, I spritz these wings and wingettes and drumettes. Not wings, because those are huge. Wingettes and drumettes, the small things that you think of when you think of chicken wings. I spritz those in olive oil. And then I sprinkle on this just insanely hot seasoning. It's ghost pepper and Carolina Reaper. I mean, just the thought of it, man. I mean, it is, and it sticks to the olive oil. So I air fry them. And then at the end of the air frying, and I'm going to video all of this, I crank up the temperature the last few minutes to give them this extra crispiness on the outside. These wings, you can't go out. The chain restaurants, I'm not going to drop the names. They used to have good wings. Now they don't. They just taste cheap. They're poor quality cuts of chicken, this, that, and the other. I get this pack of wingettes and drumettes at my grocery store for about $5. Dude, I air fry those with olive oil and that just ultra hot Carolina Reaper and ghost pepper seasoning. And then what I do, once they're done, while they're still just, just like that out of the air fryer, I throw them in a pot. And then I toss them in I like Texas Pete. Texas Pete's a good sauce. I put them in there with that. If you want to make a kind of more barbecue-ish type Texas Pete, you can add some, if you want to add some Worcestershire and some butter in with that, you can make some really just good, and you just toss them around in that. They've already been air fried. Since they were air fried in olive oil, they don't have the grease of traditional frying, but you still get the texture. And man, they are so good, dude. I'm going to do a video of that. I'm doing those tomorrow. So I'm going to do those for lunch. So I will be sure to film a video and post that. Hybrid Life says, how hot, equivalent to the spicy noodles? Hybrid Life's the guy that funded the, the Samyang Korean spicy 3X noodles or whatever? Dude, those things, I would say they're actually hot. I don't know if they're necessarily hotter. Those Samyang noodles, man, were I mean, just it just set me on fire, man. I mean, that was so cool. You funded that though. That was, and again, Hybrid Life super chatted that. He said, get you these Samyang or whatever Korean spicy 3X noodles and do a video, and I did that. And I that's mad respect right there, man. Far Right Jones says, hey, Irish guy. Far Right Jones, Texas Pete is made in North Carolina. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. North Carolina is a great state, man. I do a lot of backpacking in North Carolina. The line between Tennessee and North Carolina, I do a lot of backpacking there. And the Smoky Mountains. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Man. So we've got, let's see, what do we have here? I got to get something for dinner, man. I got to get something for dinner. So I'm going to do the dinner. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate all the great questions. We're going to do a bunch more live shows. Again, if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do so. YouTube.com/IrixGuy and ring that bell icon when you do. And all that does is notify you whenever I post another video. If you want to support the channel, you can choose to super chat during live shows. That's a great way to support the channel. Also, expand this video's description and then click the link there. You can find me on Patreon. Patreon is a way you can support the channel. You can also choose to click join and become a paid channel member. You'll get a special little badge beside your name if you choose to join and become a member of IrixGuy's Adventure Channel. So a lot of ways you can support the channel. Again, independent YouTube channel. Friday Jones says, loving the Air 2S content you've been cranking out. Dude, I got some more Air 2S videos that are coming. I posted one tonight. I've got to film. Again, tomorrow I got to play golf. Got to get out there, swing that club, Got to make my business happen, do my business deals. But, yeah, I got a lot more Air 2S videos coming. I'll be filming those, post them throughout the weekend and obviously throughout the week. Really good drone. If you're shopping for the Air 2S, head on over to epicdroneshow.com and then click Buy a Drone. Big graphic at the top. Can't miss it. So, appreciate it. Y'all be safe. Be good. Hybrid Life says, I want to fund the one chip challenge. Let me know the price. Dude, Hybrid Life, you look it up. The one chip challenge. Let me see. Actually, we'll prolong this show a little bit. Let me see how much it is. One chip challenge. Is this that? The Pequi. Wow, that's expensive, man. That is expensive. I searched for PAQUI on Amazon, and there's a Pequi 2021 chip challenge, Pequi Carolina Reaper Madness one chip challenge, and then Pequi one chip challenge. It looks like that's expensive, man. They're search for it on Amazon. PAQUI It's showing $59.79 for the 2021 chip challenge. $59.79. So that's expensive, dude. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to ask you to fund that. I mean, that's that's some big money, man. That's $59.79 before tax. I am a Prime member, so let me see how much that would be out the door. Hold on. Let me see here. Let me see how much that would be out the door. So basically, if you wanted to do that out the door, I'm looking at $65 US. So that's yeah, that would be $65 US. Now, if you sent me, if you chose to super chat $65 or more, I would do it. I mean, I definitely would do it. I didn't let you down with the with the Korean spicy 3X noodles or whatever. But now, again, when I say I would do it, I will, try my best. And again, I can eat spicy stuff, but is this going to be too intense where I quit the challenge prematurely? That's a possibility. I mean, I can't with certainty say that I'm going to be able to go through and eat the entire chip. But I can confirm that if you chose to super chat $65 or more, I would definitely give it an honest attempt. So yeah, think about it, man. Yeah, that's big money. $65, you could go out and get you a nice bottle of scotch. I mean, that's big money. But if you think about it and you decide to do it during the next live show, feel free. And again, I will do. I'm a man of my word. I'm not going to tell you something that I won't do. He says, I think the Korean noodles are 12,000 Scoville. Woo. The chip is one. Ooh, dude. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, numbers are numbers. That is radically greater than than what I did with the spicy 2X noodles, which pretty much ripped me up. So I don't know, man. You think about it too. I'm always up for a challenge. It's not going to, harm me. I think the worst harm with this would be if you did choose to support that, to fund that, and I did do it. I just need to make sure that I don't go pee afterwards. You're sitting there eating that chip and you go pee. Catch on fire. That wouldn't be good, man. That would not be good. Yeah, that'd be a cool the video of eating the chip, I think, would be very cool. Well, and actually, Fry Right Jones need water. I don't know. I think when you're eating something that hot, I think it's milk. I know I did it was a popular restaurant. It was Buffalo Wild Wings, and this was many years ago, but they had some sort of challenge, and it was the hottest wings, and they were actually very hot. But I ate through a lot of them, and then it just got to where it was just lingering heat. Couldn't get rid of the heat. And then I chugged a glass of milk. Well, I'd already been drinking I forget what I was drinking there. I was just drinking a cheap draft beer, so I was feeling pretty good. And then I chugged that milk, and I had never been that sick in my life. When I got home that night, it wasn't from the drinking. It was from all of the that excessively hot wing sauce. So, I'm throwing up milk. I'm throwing up hot wing sauce, and my entire throat's burning. And then I get up the next morning, and after you eat next morning, well, boom, now I'm hitting it from that end, and that was miserable. Hybrid Life says, easy 1 million views if you had a creative title and thumbnail. Hey, if you choose to fund that, Hybrid Life, if you've got an idea about a title and thumbnail, I will be sure to throw that in there. I think you're right, man. Friday Jones, some have completely lost it after eating that chip. Hybrid Life says Blazing Wings at B-Dubs is 70. Oh, I don't know, man. I mean, numerically speaking, that doesn't sound painful. That sounds sadistic. 1.5 million Scoville units. Now, I will say the chips, and this is nowhere near the heat of that. Those Pequi, the same brand that does the one-chip challenge, their Pequi Haunted Ghost Pepper chips are very good. I think it's the right amount of spice. I like those. They're spicy. I mean, I can eat the entire bag, no problem, though. So, but, I mean, this would just be next level crazy. Kevin says, still loving my DJI IPV drone. Hybrid Life. Blazing Wings at B-Dubs is 70. Yeah, Blazing Wings. That was the Blazing Challenge, they called it. It's what I did at B-Dubs. Hybrid Life says, watch some vids on it tonight. Watch. Yeah, I definitely will, man. I mean, I'm going to watch that. I'm going to see if it's even something I think I may be remotely capable of. Because what I don't want to do is have, if you decide that you want to super chat the funds for me to do this one-chip challenge, I don't want to let you down. I don't want to let the viewers down. I don't want to just barely touch it with my hands and my hand starts to fall off from the heat before it even reaches my lips. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to do some research and see. And Hybrid Eye says those ghost pepper chips are nothing remotely close. I don't doubt it. Same brand, completely different animal. That is cool. Well, guys, I've got to cut out. I got to get something to eat. And Fire Jones, Irish guy would catch fire. Think on that. Y'all think on that because I think the one-chip challenge would be fun. I mean, I'm up for anything, man. Anything within reason. And I would love it if Hybrid Life chooses to fund me. Again, not tonight. He's going to think about it. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to watch some videos, kind of like my pregame, figure out if I even feel that I'm capable of we'll just see. So on that note, thanks, everyone. Have a good evening. Be safe. Y'all have a good day, man.